Here it is, Qbert, episode 3.
Gunshots on a gun, nothing wanna be. Guilt trip, these drugs are inside of me. This is not where I wanna be. This is not who I wanna be.
Hello everybody, welcome to the freaking Mostly Sorry podcast. This is episode 3. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, breathing, alive, kicking butt, doing it. Happy to be here. I'm here with my co-host, producer, friend, David Deary. David, how are you today?
Wow, feeling good, Joel.
Wow. Looking strong, dude. Looking strong. Looking like the youngest older guy and maybe possibly in the world. You have some good genes.
I do have some good genes. I mixed them all up. You know, my dad's super gray. My mom's side is all bald. So I don't know what happened to me. I caught maybe my mom. Maybe my dad's not my dad. Who knows? Maybe I'm.
So your mom's side is all bald. That's funny because I heard that your hair, the way your hair is based upon the mother's side. That's what I've heard.
I've heard it all. I've heard it all, Joel. But regardless of whoever it is, I didn't get it because everyone on my dad was just full gray, and my uncle full gray when they were in their 20s. My uncle on my mom's side and my grandfather were both bald in their 20s.
Wow.
So
damn.
My uncle's college graduation picture, he's got like the funny side kind of clown baldness.
Yeah.
That's
so
the worst
funny,
bald.
man.
That's the worst bald, where you got the side.
Yeah, it sucks. But they made it work. They turned it into a look, and that's good. I mean, I always wonder at that point, I'm like, why not just get rid of it? Just shave it off. But then I guess some people aren't lucky enough to have a nice shaped head,
I guess, but I'm not even sure. It's like, shave it off. That's the worst look. I mean, they turned it into a look. That's literally the worst look. I can't think. The only thing worse is the comb over, like the blatant comb over. That's just
that's
three
bad.
strands of hair, and it's all you can see, like the hairspray in it. Just desperately trying to.
At that point, that's like a mental health sort of thing, right? Like it's it's more about like they're holding onto that hair. It means a lot, blah blah blah. And speaking of mental health, we do a thing here on this show.
That's my job, Joel. Excuse me. I mean, you're desperate to get into it. You're desperate to get into it. Obviously, something's going on. So, what, Joel?
No.
We always start the show the same way. We always get into it right away, just checking in. And I'm sorry that I didn't do that right away for you. And let's get into
No. I'm glad. I kind of threw it to you, so go ahead.
Back to you in the studio, David. Hey, Joel, let's, we always do this thing. We always get into, we call it the Mental Health Minute. Is that what we call it, the Mental Health Minute? I always forget what it's called.
Yeah, even though I sometimes go on for fucking 10 minutes.
No, it's obviously, we're saying that ironically.
I know.
So how you feeling, Joel? How's the mental?
I had a rough couple of days. I was sad, sort of, and kind of just going through it. And but it's funny because, I was kind of bummed today, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get coffee. I'm going to try to fucking flip this frown upside down, and I'm sort of positive for the day. I think that that's one of the things that sometimes works. It doesn't always work if I'm in a deep sort of depressed state or a funk, but today I was like, let me see if I can power through this thing with positivity. And so I got my coffee, I'm talking to you. I feel like I don't know, for now I'm feeling pretty positive, but I'm gonna, who knows, maybe as soon as this podcast is over and I'm alone and left with my thoughts will ravage me and tear me apart. But I don't know, man. So there's that. I'm gonna check out that app that you're always talking about, that waking up app. I want to see, because I feel like maybe having a guided thing I think will help me. And I've been doing meditations when I wake up from panic sometimes. I don't know what it is, if it's adrenaline or my thoughts, but sometimes my heart is just beating really fast. I'll wake up in sort of this what the fuck state. And lately when that happens, I've been breathing in. This is such a and I hate that I have to qualify this, but this cheesy mantra of I am peace, I am love, I am healthy. Like just saying that over and over again and breathing in and breathing out and focusing on my breath. And a couple times it's like work to put me back to sleep. Mind you, I go back to sleep to pure nightmares, but before I wouldn't even be able to go back to sleep. Like that was it. I'm up and now my day is going to be garbage because I woke up at 6 with a panic attack. So
do you have legit nightmares a lot?
The nightmare, not really, not because I don't sleep. You can't have nightmares if you never go to bed, David.
Yeah, we need that.
Everybody knows
I'm gonna
that.
have to put that. That dude.
I did that. I made a meme of that a few years ago. The guy like you can't wake up from panic attacks if you never sleep.
Right.
Maybe we'll repost that soon. But no, I don't really have nightmares like that. I have when I wake up with a panic attack. And my dreams don't wake me up with a panic attack. It's literally this weird adrenaline, like body surge thing that like it feels like almost like a jolt. And so I wake up, I go, oh fuck, and I'll look at my clock. It's 5 or 6 in the morning. I don't have to get up for another few hours. And if I do fall back asleep again, then those short hours from like 5 to 8 or 5 to 9 will be just sort of either very weird or just bad dreams where because I'm still in that mind state, I guess, when I fall back asleep. But no,
I mean,
I don't
maybe some of that comes from. I mean, I experience that when I have something important to do the next day. You know,
Yeah.
if I'm like, I know when I'm thinking about my sleep, sometimes I'll like freak out. Like if I have a flight to catch, or I know it's happened when I'm excited too. Like I remember when we went and we climbed the. In New Zealand, we went to a volcano and climbed this volcano, and we had to leave at 5 a.m, but we didn't really get to sleep that early. So I was really stressed that I wasn't going to get I was so excited. Am I going to fall asleep? Am I going to get enough sleep? And I remember waking up at like 3:30 in the morning, like, is it time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit, it's not time. Fuck, am I going to get back to bed? And then the whole thing happened again, you know? But, so.
I have that too. Yeah, that's a.
But maybe you have that kind of all the time. Maybe you just kind of, because you said your brain is kind of going, maybe that's part of the deal. Like you're kind of concerned about your sleep, worried about your sleep, worried about your next day. Are you going to get this done? What's going to happen tomorrow? And
you know what I've tried to do is
you don't sleep well.
Sort of just be okay with the fact that I'm not going to get any sleep. I used to like panic so much, like I need to get to bed. And at some point I've had to just like surrender and be like, well, you know what? You're not going to sleep. This is what it is. Let's figure it out. But yeah, those days are a bummer sort of. So I'm in the process.
Well, let's go back to the
figuring
first
all this
part.
stuff.
You said you're going to attack the day with your own positivity and try to take like proactive step today to do that. And how do you feel like what can you elaborate on that? Like, what does that entail? Are you going to like, you know, do anything like stay off social media or like avoid this or avoid that or do this or do that or anything
I'm
special?
I'm going to try to avoid negative thoughts, man. Like I'm going to, you know, that's the meditation thing you were saying. Like if you see a thought, you just kind of acknowledge it, but then you move past it, where sometimes I think I latch onto that thought. Like it's like, you know, the laundromats, clothes cleaner places. What are they called? Cleaneries?
They're called laundromats.
No, like where you
Dry
take
cleaners.
your clothes.
Dry
cleaners. They got that thing that takes the suits around. It's like an automated thing. So I would describe my thoughts as that. Like they're going around all day, and sometimes you'll see a bad one and you'll just grab onto it and just go for the ride around the place. So today when I see that thought, I'm not going to put that thought on. I'm going to wait till another shirt comes around. So I don't know, but who knows?
I
This
mean,
could all
maybe
just
you
be
should
bullshit. Maybe I'm
take those bad thoughts off the rack, you know, and just.
Well, that's when you get into the deep work, and I think that's gonna be, you know, I'm 33. I think maybe when I'm 47, that's when I'm gonna do that work. No, I'm kidding. But I don't know. And I also think this is like this positive thing I'm going through right now. Sometimes I'm like, is this just a manic state, like where I'm fucking like high on caffeine? I'm going for it, like, and then as soon as this is over, woof, like, will I drop? So we're you know, only time will tell. But
well, I mean, you're I think part of being a realistic human being is you're definitely gonna drop. You're going to have bad times and you're going to have good times, but it's like trying to catch those things realistically and be real with them. And it's like, you know, when times are bad, it's okay to acknowledge that they're bad, ask for help. It's okay to be sad.
We talked
all
a little
that
about it. We talked a little bit about it on the last one, was how I'm sort of robbed of the joy of the moment because I live in the past and in the future and I'm never here. So maybe no matter what, I'm like enjoying this right now. So like I should actually not even think about dropping after we're done recording.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time. I'm on the coffee and it's okay to be fun and have a good time right now. So I'm just
and
gonna,
it's okay
I'm gonna do that.
And it's okay that it's going to go away at some point, you know. And if you live in it and truly enjoy every great moment when you're in it, then you know, that's the idea. I guess that's kind of the plan.
For sure.
To really try to appreciate the moment that you're in. So
I wanted to say also, I wanted to reach out and just say like thank you to everybody who's been watching this. I love all the live viewings that we've been doing. I really enjoy. There's been overwhelming positivity in the chat, which is so cool. And I know some of the people, and those are the type of people they are. And I'm glad that we are attracting those sort of people. I've also really enjoyed people that have dealt with mental health sort of issues in their life reaching out to me. Not that I'm some god or martyr, but telling me thank you for speaking on my shit. Because I think that Mr. Rogers once said. Shout out to Mr. Rogers, one of the greatest MCs of the last decade, and the decades before that. I don't know how time works. He said if it's mentionable, it's manageable. And so I think that there is a lot of truth to that, that if you can mention certain things, then you can start to manage those things. And so I hope that by mentioning these things that I will manage my own, and then also give that other people will also feel good about that stuff. And hopefully we can, you know, help other people on their journey and stuff. I like that.
Hell yeah, I love that. Well, there you go.
So that's been cool.
There's the mental health minute, and
hell yeah,
let's keep it positive, man. Let's keep
that's
it
right.
positive.
Yes,
What's going on?
That was my thing.
What do you want to talk about?
This is the positivity episode. You know, shout out to our buddy Steve Simone. He does this thing on his thing. He's always got the gratitude list. He's always like trying to think about you know, the things that we have instead of thinking about what we don't have, and I think that helps a lot. Things have been crazy the last few weeks, and let's not forget, you know, there is a movement. Things are going on. I'm really proud of all the people out there doing that stuff, but I also know that those things can get, you know, they can start to wear on your soul and your heart. And so I'm not ignoring that there's things going on. I want to give you guys maybe an hour for the week that you can maybe just turn your brain off a little bit, listen to some love, and we want to give you guys love. So I want you guys all to know that we're not forgetting about it. We just want to give you a moment to maybe relax a little bit, recharge those batteries so that you can fucking keep going on there and fighting whatever fight it is, whether it's addiction or, you know, everything else that's going on in the world, this fucking virus or racism or fucking killer paramilitary force cops, you know, stuff like that. We want to juice you up so that you can go out and keep fighting in a positive mental space, not just living in the negativity. So there's that. But yeah, dude, I wanted to talk about oh yeah, we got to give a shout out to my friend, sponsor. Here's a positive thing. He's doing something with his life. You know, grew up with this kid. He's not a kid anymore. He's full on adult doing big things. But Hot Bob Hot Sauce. My friend Robert has Hot Bob Hot Sauce. Check them out. Follow them on Instagram. I have a bottle for you. I haven't been able to get it to you, but I will.
Nice.
So yeah, that's cool. Check him out. Follow them. Eventually, he'll be shipping it out. He's like, it's really cool because he's one of my oldest friends, and it's just cool to see the path that he's taken in life. And you know, he's one of those dudes that kind of just started doing. You know, he's whatever. I don't think he would mind me saying this. Started like as a dishwasher. Then one day got into, you know, chopping the fucking vegetables. Then got on proteins. And then now he's like running the restaurant, you know, like on, you know, he's like a big part of why they're a successful place. You know, shout out to the other chefs that actually started the place, but they're such a good team. And I think that like, it's very cool to see Robert, you know, literally started from the bottom. Now we're here, and now he's launching this hot sauce company. And I think there's only like big things coming for him. So I'm happy to be able to shout that out on our platform as well.
There you go. That's a good endorsement right there. I mean, I'm excited to try this guy's hot sauce. So
Dude, it's funny, man.
me
The
know.
first time I met him, I don't care. I don't think he would care me saying this, but so we grew up in the same neighborhood. Shout out to Northeast Los Angeles. I got my full on Northeast uniform today. No, if you don't know, Northeast LA, also known as Frogtown, there's also other areas in that, but right down the street from Dodger Stadium. So I got the Dodger cap. I got the Northeast thing. But so I grew up about a block away from the rec center in our neighborhood, and people would go there to play basketball. I was skateboarding there. And I think I needed like a quarter for the vending machine. And Robert had a crazy haircut at the time. He had his whole head was shaved, and he had 2 devil horns like of hair in the front. And I was like, dude, this dude's like cool, right? Because whatever, I was into the counterculture and shit like that. So somehow I asked him for a quarter, and he was like, yeah, I got you. If you don't pay me back, I'm going to break your legs. and then I remember paying him back, and then that was like the beginning of our friendship. We ended up on a bus ride together to like Six Flags, because the rec center would go on field trips and stuff. And I had a CD player with a bunch of CDs. Turns out we were into a lot of the same music. We bonded, and then we've been friends ever since. He's one of my like longest friends that I've had. So that's pretty cool. But I just remember he had all these crazy hairstyles in school, man. He had a big green afro at one point, and dyed his hair green. And then I remember he would wear like brown sometimes, so he looked just like a tree. But a cool tree, man, a fly-ass tree, if a tree was fly.
If a tree was fly.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So
That's cool, man.
Had a fucking hell of a CD collection, too, man. He had everything growing up. It was awesome. Everything from Bone Thugs to,
Are you too young to remember the cassette tape era? Do you remember that?
No, dude. I was talking to somebody about that. Yeah, I had tapes. I had tape singles. I remember record companies, you'd go see a live show, and on the way out, people would hand you like the tapes with like a single on it. The first Eminem record, I remember I had like they had put out, it was My Name Is, and then little snippets of other songs on the album, and I remember the cassettes were dope, dude. I remember I was a big fan of the Mariah Carey Boyz II Men song, One Sweet Day. And I had that. I remember getting that for my birthday one year as a tape single. Sorry.
I just remember mixtapes.
Told you. Okay, sorry.
I just remember mixtapes and
mixtapes. Yeah, I made some of those. I think I was a little bit maybe past that, but I remember getting those. And I remember making my own and sort of sitting there by the radio and like waiting to hit record when the song came on, that was a fun time, man. That was I was reading about that in the Beastie Boys book too, just about like the hands-on fun process of making those sort of things and the thought and decorating the thing and like,
And it was hard to get songs back then. It was like kind of like not easy to hear a song. That's why the radio is so powerful when we were kids, or when I was a kid, because you couldn't just get a song. You literally would have to wait to hear it. And so if you put it on a tape and you had it on a tape, that was gold. That was the gold.
Dude,
it's just such a different world right now.
I remember KRock used to do these like block party weekends or whatever from like Friday to Saturday, and they would play like 2 to 3 songs that you could call in and request like these songs, whatever. And I remember I did it one time. I wanted to request this, blah, 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 waiting fucking forever, dude. And then when my block came on, losing my fucking mind in my room. Like, they're playing the fucking songs I asked them to. I remember it, dude. It felt so fucking good, man. You know what else I used to do was like, I would play songs that I liked over and over again and transcribe the lyrics. Like,
you would?
Sit down with a pen and a paper and write it out.
That's funny. You remember any of the songs that you did that for?
I don't remember. I feel like I might be wrong about this, but do you remember Puff Daddy did a song on the Godzilla soundtrack called "Come With Me," where they sampled Led Zeppelin, the dun 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 dun.
Oh right, I remember that.
Yeah,
well,
yeah. But I think that was one of them. So I loved Bone Thugs as a kid. That was one of the first tapes I ever got was Eternal 99. And It's funny. I got to meet Busy Bone at the Comedy Store one night, and I told him, I was like, dude, I was listening to you guys probably way too young, and he said, he goes, I was like, I was too young to be listening to you guys. My parents like probably shouldn't have let me like get into that at a young age. But he said, yeah, dude, we were rapping too fast. People couldn't even, the parents didn't even know what we were saying. Like, it was this thing where it kind of went under the radar because people didn't know, how the gangster shit they were talking about. But, so that was one. But this is a funny thing because Crossroads was huge. And I remember wanting to know the lyrics. I couldn't pinpoint the lyrics because they were rapping too fast. And I visited my cousins, and their TV had closed caption on the TV, and the Bone Thugs video came on, and I was like, yes, dude, like, I'm finally going to know what they're saying in this. And I remember that being, like, super exciting to get the closed caption on the Bone Thugs video. But, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I remember when I was a kid, the tapes, they would put the lyrics in the cassette.
That was cool. Do you ever remember being excited to read it? You pick up the tape and there were no lyrics in there and being pissed?
I mean, I definitely remember having some tapes, like some underground punk shit, where there were no lyrics, and I remember just being like, "Fuck, what are they saying, man? This shit's
yeah."
I
know that song,
but you'd sing along anyway. You'd just be like, you knew the melody, so you just sing along.
Yeah,
anyway.
raw energy, dude. Yeah, dude. That's it's funny because I think that's one thing that is, and this is me being the old guy now, but it's. The one thing I miss is like, and people will say this about records, but the artwork inside and the photos, and I used to really love that, man.
Right.
Like, and there, you don't really get that anymore. You'll get a cool album cover and stuff, but yeah, that's a cool medium.
Though. Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. Not really. Not like it used
Not
to
a
be.
cool album cover. You don't think? I think I've seen a few cool album covers.
I don't remember seeing them recently. I trip on that as well because. I don't know, yeah. As a fan of and I feel the same way about skate graphics as well. They've really kind of lost.
Yeah.
They've lost a lot because of how many are coming out, and I know graphic designers and illustrators who work for skate companies, and it's like they tell me now, it's like, yeah, now you have to do a series of graphics every couple weeks, and back in the day, you would just do a graphic for each pro every couple months, so you could spend a lot more time on it, and it would mean a lot more, and you could put a lot more effort into it, and you'd probably get paid more money as well.
Yeah, dude.
So
Man,
it's
dude,
interesting.
Remember the Muska board? The fucking, the red Shorty's Muska where it was like the silhouette. He was like sitting. That was like a fucking thing, dude. Like, I couldn't wait to get it,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool. I remember a buddy of mine, because they had different colors of those for the different sizes. There was like orange, red, green, and a buddy of mine got the orange one. I remember being like, why would you buy the orange one? Like, it's the fucking red ones, the Canon thing, dude. But then I didn't realize like he liked the size better, or maybe the skate shop, whatever. But dude, I met Muska when I was like a fucking huge Chad Muska fan. Still am.
Right.
I mean, he's the coolest.
Oh yeah, he's the king. Yeah, he's the Muska.
Yeah. Dude, but so I had his shoes, I had his board, and he was filming a commercial on Las Feliz at a car wash where he was like, think tray flipping over a car. They had kicker ramps set up, and I think either my mom called me and said there's a pro skater here on Las Feliz, and I was like, oh, I felt it like in my heart that it was Muska. Like, I was like, I bet it's Chad Muska, and I like got my board. I had his shoes on. I went to the thing and I met him, and I remember being just a dumb kid going, I literally told him this. I go, dude, I'm obsessed with you. Dude, I was like, I got your board, I got this. And he had a trailer set up because he was working on Muska beats at the time. And he was doing the beats in the thing and shooting and he was super cool. And I got the first round of the shoes. I was like at the store the day they came out. Remember the original, those Circa ones?
Yeah.
With the stash pocket, and apparently the first thing, the people who made them or whatever put the wrong material. There was a mesh on the toe. They put the wrong mesh, so they were falling apart the front. And I told him, and he was like, yeah, and he was like, oh, they put the wrong thing, and then later on they fixed it. There was a different mesh on the second run of those shoes. But yeah, it was cool. He was super nice to me, and I also met Mike V when I was a kid. He was really cool. I was a huge Mike V fan. They used to do this event in Orange County called Invert, and it was a big sort of convention. They had a street course, a vert ramp, and then all these skate shops and stuff would come, and you could go into a bin and grab shoes for $20 or wheels for $5 because they were whatever, some tiny ass defect, a print defect or something. And that was really fun. I got to see like Rune Glifberg skate live and Pierre Luc and whatever, even like Andy McDonald, and it was tight, dude. That was a really fun time. I remember my friend, his mom got like a van and we all just loaded in there and all drove out to Orange County, and it was really fun. Anyway, I'm so jacked on coffee, dude.
That's great. Go ahead.
What's
fun to me about skateboarding is like the superstars of skateboarding aren't like they're not the same as like football players or basketball players or actors or even comedians. It's like they're not that blown out. Even like Tony Hawk is like, when you meet Tony Hawk, he's just like, oh hey man, I'm Tony, nice to meet you.
I used to love that. You know why? Because no matter how big they get, they still gotta be in the streets. Like that is where they gotta be. Yeah. Like they gotta be at the school. They still gotta hop the fence. Like, and I think that keeps them. Literally, they don't forget the streets they came from because they're still in there. It's I think there's a little bit of. Yeah, I guess that's one of the only things really that's like that, dude. But there are certain things. I'm trying to
think of it myself because even comedians, it's like they reach a certain level where they're not,
accessible really anymore.
Yeah, they're not even going to like the Comedy Store. Like you don't see Eddie Murphy at the Comedy Store. You don't connect with Chris Rock, even if he's there. He's just kind of going right on and then leaving. With
I think that's because movie fame like becomes this other thing. It's because
Tony Hawk has movie fame. Tony Hawk has movie fame.
He's got Tony Hawk has like that video game it revolutionized everything, dude. That's weird, dude. I wonder, man, because
but other skaters don't have. Most skaters don't have that. Most skaters don't have that level of fame, though. Like Muska, he's only famous to us. Oh, that's a funny story, actually. I recently went to remember they had the New Deal reopening, and they had this art show at this small gallery over right by Dodger Stadium, right by you. It's
was it an
what's
Echo
the name
Park?
Of that gallery?
No.
It's Shepherd. It's Shepherd Ferry's gallery. I forget what it's called.
Okay, I know he had a factory in Frogtown for a little while.
It's a small gallery. It probably holds 100 people, 150 people, and everybody was there. It was crazy. Like it was just the all-star event, and everybody was outside trying to get in. And I was standing there on my bike, and Muska was there, and Muska was on the outside, like talking it up, trying to get in. I saw a bunch of people on the outside, like trying to get in, and this lady was like, her and her boyfriend were like trying to talk it up, and I told the lady, I go, look, lady, let's be real. If the Muska's not getting in, we're not getting in.
Yeah.
And then she was like, who's the Muska? And I was like, well, actually, you should probably just leave right now, because if you don't know who the Muska is,
get the fuck
this party's
here,
not
dude.
for you. Like, why are you here? Who do you know? What are you doing? Like, this is a skateboarding event, and one of the fucking sickest, coolest skaters of all time is standing right next to you, and you're like, who's the Muska? I was like, Jesus, lady. That's the Muska.
I remember.
How do you not know the Muska?
Yeah, dude. I remember wearing the rolled up pants, the fucking the tank
cargos.
top, dude. Yeah, I went to Old Navy.
Did you carry a boombox with you?
Dude, I wish, dude. I think there was a time my buddy Frankie had one, and I remember taking the boombox to the park, the same rec center I met Robert at, and like skating around and shit. Like you couldn't ollie over it or do stuff with it because it was probably his like brothers, and he's like, dude, we gotta return this like in one piece.
Right.
But yeah, it's dude. Yeah, I went to Old Navy. They had like I bought these gray. It was gross because it was like athletic gear that didn't breathe. It was like almost like the shit that air mattresses are made out of, like where it's like fuzzy on the outside and like plastic on the inside. But it had the ripcord, so I would like pull it up. I would wear like visors and shit. Like it was crazy. But it gave me this sort of thing to like latch onto, where I felt like an individual, even though I was completely buying into the whole thing. But it was really cool, man. And then years later,
yeah, but
one
the
of my
thing
favorite
that you're buying into is it's like when you look at it now, you're like, that's just one dude, random guy. I mean, he is a really good skateboarder, but it's amazing that like, you know, punk and skating and maybe even surfing, it's like there's this culture within a culture, and no one knows. A lot of people right now probably don't know who the fuck we're talking about. Chad Muska.
Yeah, for sure. Look up Chad Muska. Watch the Fulfill the Dream part.
Yeah, watch Fulfill the Dream. Look up Muska Beats. I mean, he was just doing things that, I mean, my graffiti friends were like carrying boom boxes and like, you know, when, you know, he's actually like a little bit younger than me. So I see where he got his, you know, boombox thing from. So it's interesting.
Course,
but the whole roll your pant legs up, and they have to be cargo pants, and that string and the big shoes. Remember people used to put like tongues under the tongues of their shoes?
Dude,
do you remember that?
It's one of the best-selling skate shoes of all time. I'll tell you what, I never really liked it. The Osiris D3s, dude. They were just, you know why? Because the back heel had like a thing. It was like I think it was an Osiris logo thing, like the whole, but it looked like a clown smiling, and I was always like, I don't like that, dude. I was trying to think of what shoes were dope. I was always really into the Joff Rowleys. Those were cool. The fucking Muskas. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. That's so funny. This is such an inside thing, but
no, I know this is a skateboarding.
Half
thing,
cabs are dope. Half cabs are dope.
But the main point is how interesting countercultures can influence people and to be a certain way, and like, you know, how everyone's you know, easily influenced, I would say.
I would say it's interesting because I would say streetwear for the last 10 years has been heavily influenced mostly by skateboarding sort of style. Yeah. You know, everybody's dressing like that fucking 90s style now, you know? It's like that it's all coming back. Like it all comes in cycles. You know, but yeah, that's dope. That reminds me of the Muska Beats thing you said, you know, like I think there's a Wu-Tang track on there that Paulo Diaz plays tabla on. And that's pretty cool because I Paulo Diaz, Los Angeles legend. If you don't know Paulo Diaz, go look him up. Just, you know, and he's buddies with Muska, and God, just one of the most like unique sort of styles ever. And I forget whose epically later it is, but they said that all the kids in LA used to just gather around outside Paulo's like house and wait for him to like come out to go skating and stuff. He went to the high school that I went to, and my cousin Ivan was in his class, and somebody brought a magazine that Paulo was in, and I think it was one of their teachers was like, "Oh, we have a celebrity in the classroom," like something like that. And then I remember going to a John Marshall graduation at the Greek Theater, and Paulo was there, and I went up to him and had him sign my the program for the graduation, and his friends started being like, "Oh, dude, you're famous," and he drew a shark, like this like sketch of a shark, and I left it like on a table somewhere, and like my mom like threw it away or drew on it because she just thought it was like a shark scribble that like I did or something, and I remember being fucking bummed out. I was like, no. But yeah, Paulo's dope, Muska's dope. Go check those
we just love skateboarding. That's just the bottom line. Like, we love skateboarding.
I haven't been in a long
no
time, dude. I haven't been skating in a long time, but it's funny how much that informs. You know, working at the skate park for almost 10 years will really sort of, to me, sort of took my love away from it for a while, you know, and I got it back a little bit when I started going out with you and Jeremiah and stuff. You know, but
That's
I
how
always
I feel
have
about
a
comedy,
skateboard on
to
me.
be honest with you.
Well, any sort of exposure, right? What do they say? Familiarity
Right.
breeds contempt. It's like anything you're around sometimes you got to put it away and come back. But I still have a board under my fucking bed, you know. Yeah, shout out to Todd Bertrude. I think.
But I mean, when I say we love skateboarding, it's like bigger than even getting on a skateboard and skateboarding. We love the culture of skateboarding.
Yeah.
And we love the style. I love the style.
What's interesting about it, sort of what you said, is like Muska, this one individual sort of, here's what it is. It's a tool for a bigger platform where like Muska just got good at skating, and then that became this thing for him to become this other thing, and now the art thing. And even surfers, like if you get good, you know, the act of skating and the act of surfing is not is not corporate in itself, you know, like as just the act of doing it. So it's just a weird sort of battery to power up this other platform to go do things with your life and stuff and change the culture. And, you know, all these brands now that are coming out that are just dictating what is fucking cool to wear and stuff all started from, I think, or a lot of them started from skateboarding. So
I mean,
it's just
Supreme,
cool, man.
that's a great example. Supreme.
Yeah, Supreme.
That's some
You know,
skater
you see
kids.
these brands like Palace and stuff almost being like these high fashion brands, like could
Right.
almost be on
Fucking
runways
awesome.
in Paris and stuff. Yeah, it's fucking
Hockey,
it's
fucking
cool.
awesome. Palace.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many that like, and yeah, and they all kind of stem under that Supreme label, and even
For
some of the
sure.
even some of those big street art. I mean, that's street art, street fashion shit. Like, I mean, I don't really know much about them, but like, I know a few friends rock that shit, and I see them like Kith, and it's
Yeah,
a lot
for
of
sure,
it,
yeah.
and a lot of the Adidas stuff, and it's all kind of modeled around the Supreme, you know, philosophy.
Yeah.
Which, by
Yeah,
the
and
way,
all
I
that
mean,
shit-
I can't stand that shit, to be honest with you, but I love the dudes who do Supreme. Like, I'm homies with a bunch of those dudes, and
Cool.
I actually.
Well, when you say you can't stand it, you mean like it's just not your vibe of clothing. Like you wouldn't wear. I wouldn't.
No,
I don't
I
know
think-
if I mean, I guess I would.
I think
honestly, I'll take.
I would wear
anything.
it. No, I'd wear it. It's
Yeah.
I think the clothing is nice. You know, I just don't
Yeah.
like the culture that they created, and I really do believe it goes two ways for me, because it's like I really do believe you reap what you sow. You know, you gotta lie in the bed that you make, all those cliches, but it's like, you know, this is who you are. This is who you guys are. You're a corporate clothing brand that, you know, engages in fucking the worst kind of capitalism that you can possibly imagine, which is basically buying garbage cheap and selling it at a high price, like at a ludicrously high price based on
It's
hype.
also interesting, but it's all like fuck. It's crazy because from both sides, I see both sides of it. Like get that money, but also like, fuck. I had a fucking thought about this. What's interesting about this is when we create something, art, anything, and then you put it out into the world. Sometimes you don't have control over what it becomes, and then you have that, that thing. So.
No, but
I don't know.
I gotta disagree with that, because you always have some control, and
Yeah.
to put Supreme in that they don't have control is just a
I'm not saying they.
lie,
No.
because
I'm saying it just
they
from like
literally they do it like that. They're
Yeah.
happy with the way they're doing it. Now, what I could positively say about them that I do enjoy is that they take that money and they put it back into like one of the most incredible skateboarding teams you could
Yeah.
possibly imagine. I mean,
Well, there you
anyone
go.
involved-
At that
well,
point,
I
you're
agree.
like,
I agree
"Dang,"
with that.
Yeah.
The ends, but do the ends justify the means? That's kind of
Not always. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough call,
Yeah.
because if they
That's
didn't do
like-
that, they wouldn't have the money to make William Strobeck skate clips. They wouldn't have the money to have a team with like Tyshawn, and Nickel and just the most incredible skateboarders out.
Yeah. I think about
But,
that with the
you know.
corporate, with Nike and Adidas sort of
Exactly.
coming into skating. It's kind of wild, but they have the money for the technology, and that means I'll go even broke boy, but like the shoes, like I saw like kids that buy a pair of Nyjahs, like I've heard those things last forever because whatever the material they're made out of is. So that's less money that parents got to spend on shoes more often, like
I'll be
stuff like
honest
that.
with you. I have a pair of Nyjahs, and they're insane. They're so comfortable right out of the box.
Yeah.
I mean, they make good products.
Yeah, I've heard
I
they
mean,
last really long.
I
And that's
mean,
important
obviously,
for kids,
I don't skate
I don't know.
like that, but I can. The material is crazy. It's way better than most stuff, and
Yeah.
I've had mine for.
It's also cool. I'm sort of
over a year.
I've always had this weird thing about using suede for skate shoes has always sort of bummed me out because I'm like, damn, like an animal died so that I could just rub this against grip tape. So I'm glad that more and more synthetic like fibers are. Mind you, I eat meat and stuff, but I'm also. I enjoy that more and more synthetic things are coming out because I think it's just more sustainable. It feels
Oh,
weird.
definitely,
But,
definitely.
But also if something dies and you're using that shoe to create happiness and whatever, there's so many circles I could go in through this where maybe that
By the
shoe
way, I
changes
didn't
some
buy.
kid's
I
life.
didn't buy the Nyjahs. They were given to me. So
Yeah,
you know.
you actually gave me a pair of shoes a while back. I still have them so thanks for that. I probably
Easy.
did
I have
thank you.
so
but
many
here we are.
shoes. I have so
Wow.
many
It'd be funny if you panned the camera and it was just like, yeah.
I just don't. I don't like shoes, but I have obviously have friends in the industry, and
yeah,
if they offer me shoes, I usually take them, and sometimes
for sure
sometimes it's ridiculous how many shoes, and I just take them because I just give them to other people. But it's like,
yeah,
I'll just go see a friend and he'll just be like, "Oh, you need shoes?" And I'll be like, "Nah, I'm good." And he'll just be like, "Here, oh, but take these." And then he'll just pile up 6 pairs of shoes. I mean, 6 pairs of shoes.
Your sample size, that's right. That's
I'm
why,
one.
right?
I'm half off actually, but
you're a 9. Sample size
I'm
is
9.5.
9.5.
I'm
right?
9.5. Yeah.
Oh.
No, I'm 9.5.
Okay, cool.
Sample size is 9, but anyway, boring stuff. But I personally detest buying shoes, so I'm happy to get free ones, and I'm happy to give people free shoes. And I don't know, shoes are necessary, but
yeah, I like shoes, but I like simple ones. I think I try to go for every time I try to buy a fancy one or something, it just doesn't go with everything you wear. So I like black and white shoes, or any just sort of like standard color. Like the old school Vans are great. Black and white Converse, always good with everything. My girlfriend got me a pair of like navy blue PF Flyers that are fucking sick. They, I could wear a lot of things with them. I love like the dope colorful Nikes and stuff, but I'm like, I don't have enough time to.
How do you feel about sneaker culture though, for real? Like people who wait in line for shoes, people who buy shoes like 5 pairs so they can resell them on eBay and shit like that. How do you feel about that?
I don't know about all that. I'm into individual freedom, and if I don't know, I enjoy the art of it. I think there's some really cool like things. It's not my thing, but I've waited in line for other shit before, and it's like whether you're waiting.
What have you waited in line for? What have you waited in line for? What would you wait in line for?
I waited in line one time to try and get tickets to see a band at the Roxy. It was doing a special thing, So I waited a really fucking long time. I didn't even get tickets, but I waited in the sun for a long time for that. I've waited in line for certain food, and that to me sometimes is a little bit bullshit because waiting in line for some food item, I'm sure there's some hole in the wall that has something that is just as good for that thing. It's a lot of it's hype, and I'll fucking don't believe the hype sometimes, but I think maybe to see a band, that's cool. Man, what if I waited in line? I'll wait in line at Disneyland. I don't have a season pass, but I love Disneyland. And when I go, I have a really good time because I grew up going. I grew up in Southern California, a half an hour away from Anaheim, and Disneyland, I shit you not, smells the same way that it smelled when I was a child. And I know they do it by design, but when you walk in, it fucking hits you and it takes you back, dude. All the rides smell the same, and there's something joyful about that. I like that, so I enjoy that. I'll wait in line there. I recently waited in line at Ikea, 45 minutes, and because they reopened, so I went to Ikea, mask, all that.
You just couldn't wait. You just couldn't wait to get back to Ikea. What did you? You can't buy Ikea shit online. Can you not buy it online?
They have great frames, dude. Their frame department is good. So Ryan J.
I know all about Ikea. I mean,
Ryan J.
A lot of great kitchen shit.
Will you shut the fuck? No, I'm just kidding. Ryan J. He knows I love Planet of the Apes, so he's given me a few art pieces that he's drawn. He drew me a chimpanzee skull that's like fucking dope, and I want it. And for a long time, I just wanted to get it in a frame. And me and my girl went because she needed some house stuff, and she had the day off. We had time to kill. We're like, fuck it, let's go. So we went. We waited, had a good time in line because we're making each other laugh or whatever. It wasn't like a awful experience. I got in, got a framed the picture, put it on my wall. It looks dope, makes me happy. So yeah, I went there. I'm not gonna do it every fucking week or anything, but what's something you've waited in line for, David?
I did wait in line for concert tickets a few times.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
I spent the night outside for concert tickets one time.
Yeah, that makes sense. I did get to see a fucking dope band.
There was no internet back then either,
Yeah, I know.
Dude, I hate waiting. I hate waiting in line. I will not wait in line for shit. Nah.
I used to do that at the warehouse.
Nah, I would never wait in line for Ikea. Nah, I'm not at all a line guy. That's why I don't go out that much. I really don't like waiting around for shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I don't like going to concerts because like you go there, they say, show starts at 10 and then you go there at 10 because you're just like, oh, okay, show starts at 10. And then you just stand around for 2 hours. Then the opening band plays, and then you stand around for another 45 minutes, and then the headliner plays, and they play for 45 minutes, and you're like, I've been here for 6 hours. The band's played 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm
you know what's
getting
cool?
old,
A bunch
man.
of venues have started recently. It's like a new trend. They'll post the set list on. No. Like I think it's like the Regent Theater. There are certain clubs I've gone to recently that they'll post it on their Instagram set times, and for the most part have been pretty accurate. Like I've gone and been like, oh, like whatever, Evidence goes on at 10, so I'll show up at like 9 and go see whatever, or like who did I see? I don't know. Yeah, so that's been pretty cool. That's a new thing that I don't remember happening back in the day. It's just doors at 8 and you fucking show up and you're waiting, you know. Man, I miss live concerts, dude. That's another one I've been missing, dude.
Not me. I don't miss live concerts at all. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't miss live shit that much at all. I don't miss comedy. I don't miss live shows. I don't miss clubs.
Yeah, I do. I don't know. I was talking to my brother recently. We were like, I was like, man, I can't wait to go to a concert with my brother because like we've never done it. Oh, we haven't done it since we were kids. Like him and my cousin took me to the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim to go see the Family Values tour. Like in some year, it was like Limp Bizkit was headlining, right? But we also got to see Primus, Method Man and Redman were on the Blackout tour, Filter. It was dope. We had fun, man. And like, but so now I'm like, I want to go see like Cypress Hill with my brother or Ice Cube or something like that would be tight. Cause I haven't.
I've already seen those guys. I'm good.
I have too multiple times, but I've never gone with my brother. And like, he's sort of one of the people that introduced me to that stuff as a kid. So I've never gone and like had a beer with my brother, or, like smoked a joint in the crowd and like vibed with him at a concert. I feel like it would be a good bonding experience, you know. Yeah, I don't know. So that would be dope. But I do miss that stuff. What's one of the best live concerts you've ever been to?
Man, I've seen so many.
Yeah, that's a hard question.
Give me a genre. Give me a genre, and I'll tell you.
I'd say this. Just today, it could change tomorrow. Give me 3 just off the top of your head. Not even the best. Just 3 that you really enjoyed.
Gangstar. When I saw Gangstar.
Damn, that's unfair.
That was amazing.
That.
And
where was that?
Like, that was in Philadelphia. Well, I've seen him a few times, but the best was one time I saw him in Philadelphia at the Electric Factory, and Nice and Smooth came out, and they did DeWick, the song DeWick. Cool. Lemonade was a popular drink, and it still is.
Yeah,
and
they sell a shirt of that on I think DJ Premier's website.
I mean, that's the jam. That's definitely the jam. And then they had Bumpy Knuckles.
No.
What's his Freddie Fox is his
okay.
MC.
Okay.
Yeah, Freddie Fox. They call him Bumpy Knuckles. And
I know the name
huge.
Freddie Fox from other people's raps thing, you know.
But he's like a part of the Gangstar Foundation. So he came out and he had this he's huge. He's like really fucking buff. And he's cut, and he's wearing like this chainmail, and he had a mace. He had like this crazy like armor, looking medieval and shit, right? And Philadelphia is like the Electric Factory. It's like notorious for being like dickheads about like curfew and shit. So as soon as they finished the song DeWick, that was supposed to be the end of the show, I guess, right? And Guru was like, yo, should we do one more? And the crowd went crazy. And I was standing next to the soundboard, the big soundboard in the middle, and I saw the guy go, nah, shut it down, quick, shut it down. And the soundboard just shut down everything. He just turned off all the fucking sound and trying to be like, that's it. And then they were all there, like they were like, no. And fucking Guru and them are looking around trying to figure it out. And when they realized that the Electric Factory had shut off the sound, Freddie Fox jumped off the stage, went through the crowd, and to the soundboard with his mace and his chainmail. I was standing right there, and he goes, we're doing one more, right? We're about to do one more. And the guy goes, what? He goes, I said, we're doing one more. Turn the motherfucking sound on right now. And the guy goes, oh, yeah, of course. And he turned the sound on. And then Freddie Fox went back on stage, and they fucking did an encore.
Man, dude,
it was sick. It was so hype.
The new Run the Jewels song samples that Greg Nice line from that. The ooh la la ah wee wee. Yeah.
Right.
Also, that fucking I wanna get I left my Philly at home. Do you have another? I wanna get blunted, my brother. They have sampled that and other shit too. Like I wanna get blunted, my brother. But yeah,
that was
that's
crazy
fucking,
too because Smooth B's mic wasn't working, and the crowd just sang every word of his shit, and they didn't even turn the mic on or up or anything. No one gave a fuck, and it was so crystal clear. Everyone knew every word. That was the shit. So yeah, I mean, regardless, I've seen so many shows that are amazing, but yeah, that's one of the best. I'll never forget that show.
You know what's cool, and I hope happens. I've been lucky enough to see live DJs spinning like wax, like doing sets on wax and stuff, and I feel like that's kind of hard now. People don't. It's also, I get it, when you're touring, you can't be bringing crates and stuff. It's easier now with Serato and stuff, but that's like some shit that's amazing to see, man.
I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of that as well, obviously.
I bet, dude.
Qbert. I've seen all the Invisible Scratch Pickles. I lived in San Francisco. They used to do a weekly, like, right in the heat of, battle DJ shit, when the whole X-Men, DJ Qbert was peaking. Those guys, one of their dudes used to do a weekly night, a weekly hip hop night at this place called Deco. And in the basement, they had like, a small little basement room where they set up turntables and they would just have like scratch DJs practicing. And,
cool.
There'd be like 20 people down there, and Qbert used to come by, and, Mixmaster Mike, Qbert. I saw Vinrock. Just all
my brother
the big
saw
battle
recently
DJs.
Mixmaster Mike open up for Cypress Hill somewhere, and he was like, "Dude, he's fucking incredible." Like,
yeah,
man,
Oh man, I saw like you wouldn't even believe the shit that I saw. I saw the entire Invisible Scratch Pickles team practicing routines for like the ITF championships.
Yeah,
in front of like 7 people. It was
I don't
crazy.
I never heard Invisible Scratch Pickles. I never heard of that. I'll check that out.
Mixmaster Mike, DJ Qbert,
okay.
Shortcut. Who are the other dudes in there? But basically, it's Qbert, Mixmaster Mike, and I think Spider Monkey's the other dude's name. Basically, like the ultimate scratch DJs. Qbert, these guys, they just put that shit on the map.
I remember the Executioners.
Yeah, they were like the other group. They were the New York version of the Scratch Pickles. And
damn, that's
they
dope.
were nowhere near as good. No one was, and not even saying that in a bad way, because those guys are fucking monsters
I know what you
as
mean.
well. But like, the Qbert is an alien from space when it comes to scratching, and like when you listen to his old scratch routines and his records, like from the early '90s, he was just speaking like Jimi Hendrix style, but with a scratch record. So yeah, to see that shit live, wow.
We've talked about it before. I'm fascinated by that stuff, just being a drummer and stuff, because I feel like scratching and stuff, it's of course way more open because you're not trapped to the kit, but there is something very percussive. They're cutting on that beat and stuff. But I've always wanted to, like when they opened up Scratch Academy, like I was like, it's like to go learn, because I've always wanted to learn how to scratch and stuff like that. But my brain, and I'm sure I could learn it if I really got deep into it, but my brain, like my hands want to do shit that my brain doesn't even understand how to do. I wonder if I'm just like, that's why drums are more like, to me, I'm like, okay, I can sit here and do this, where the technology aspect of it is so crazy. I'll watch Ninth Wonder or any of them breakdown sampling and all that sort of shit, or DJ Premier, and I get it to a certain point, and then I'm like, oh fuck, like it's another fucking or Jay Dilla, right? Like I'll hear people talk about his Dilla's process and break that down, and I don't even, at a certain point, I can't. It's like another language to me. I can't understand it, but it's so amazing, dude. Yeah, I love that.
But
dude.
You can appreciate Dilla's like drum cadences and stuff like that.
Of course,
he's using hearing off rhythm kind of drum cadences and shit.
Well, he just didn't quantize stuff, which totally changed everything. For Questlove said it completely changed the way he plays drums, because he was used to hearing this sort of thing, and then when he heard Dilla, he's like, he didn't even know you could do that. Like he's like, it changed how he played. Right. That's fucking when you're an electronic.
I mean, to be fair,
artist,
like nobody quantized drums in the beginning.
Yeah, I guess it didn't exist, right? But then trends happen. You get the whatever, and then people break the fucking mold again and change it.
Yeah, he didn't quantize drums and then realized that it made like a certain style, and then he tweaked that style and perfected that style. And I remember when he first came out, at least when I first heard about him on like the Tribe Called Quest stuff, a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is so weird. Like it's like off rhythm. It doesn't make sense."
Yeah.
But it's like I said, things take repeated listening, you know. And I wasn't a huge fan of Dilla in the beginning as well. I didn't really like his shit in the beginning, although he did stuff I did like, but I wasn't like now, you know, after Donuts came out, Dilla Donuts probably really just shifted me into like, wow, this guy is like, especially when you hear the originals that he was using and just his whole Donuts is, to me, Donuts is a sampling masterpiece.
There's a lot of cool
no one's been.
There's a lot of cool YouTube videos of that where they break down all the samples. They'll show you the original, and then you go, holy shit, dude. Like, it's amazing. That's funny. That's a good topic, is like things we didn't like at first that we fell into. And I think that it's not that we didn't like them. We just didn't understand like what it was. And like you said, you like those things that you can go in and deep and listen to over and over again. And like, I had that sort of experience with LP. Like the first time I remember getting the CD at Rockaway Records. We had a record store that I lived over the hill from, so we used to skate over there and buy used albums and stuff. And I remember getting the LP album, and just it had the album with the lyrics and then an instrumental CD too. And I just didn't understand it at the time, dude. And now I look back and, you know, it's now I get it more. And that's another dude who's had fucking so many careers now, sort of.
Yeah,
it's
I think we talked about that, didn't we? Company Flow,
maybe.
his first group.
Yeah, he was. We may have. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, but he's just had so many careers, and then when Run the Jewels came out, it's like, damn, he's reinvented himself again, and it's pretty cool, man. It's I I like that. The longevity of a career is super impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I saw LP, I saw Company Flow a few times as well, but his first group, who I really enjoyed, I really liked back then. But I remember seeing LP when he first did his record label Def Jux. He put out RJD2's record, Mr. Liff, a bunch of cool underground shit, and he was like peak. This is, I mean, now it's Run the Jewels. They're commercial. They play huge festivals. They have massive fan base. But
so
at the time, he had this big fan base. He was like cult famous, and I remember going to see a show with like 300 people, but 300 like insane fanatic, hip hop
atmosphere
backpack.
had the same thing.
Exactly.
Living Legends were also, like there was this fucking thing, man. That's so
I remember
dope.
thinking like LP could be like kill the president, and guaranteed 10 people from that crowd would have been like, I'm gonna kill the president.
Holy shit.
He just had such an influence over these kids. It was just ridiculous. I mean, dope. Whatever. I mean, like again,
well,
it
that's
goes
what
back
I mean.
To the thing.
It's like
We're so easily influenced. Everything.
It just
can
depends
influence
what you
people.
allow yourself to be influenced by.
Right.
It's interesting, man. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Chuck D lately, like just interviews and stuff, and it's just funny. He's been saying the same shit for so long, just about the media and all that, and propaganda and stuff. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but if you look at certain forms of propaganda, you really realize like how easily people can be sort of like you can skew their view of things and make them believe something that is not reality, and that's what I think is so cool about the democratization of media like this. Like we get to just throw this up on YouTube. Like we don't have to go through NBC or any network, and I think that that's powerful, the spread of information. And Chuck D's always talked about that. Like we need our own media source.
He's been doing that. He's been doing that. He's been doing underground radio forever, man. Chuck D has been on it since day one, man. And that's kind of like
he released a new project. Yeah, go ahead.
I would say he's probably like the biggest influence in my life. I mean, Public Enemy was probably the first. Run DMC and Public Enemy were probably the first groups that I really just obsessed over. And and obviously Run DMC doesn't say much, so
yeah, they were rocking the party. That was it was
great.
Thing,
it was
like
dope music.
MCs.
Yeah, it was dope music, and it was black culture. It was great. But Chuck D was like, most of my heroes don't appear on no stamp. Malcolm X was a hero
Yeah.
to most, and you know,
No,
saying
Elvis.
names.
Elvis
you know?
was a hero.
Oh yeah, but
yeah. But he never meant shit to me.
But he says
Yeah,
he
that's-
talks about Malcolm X. He has lyrics about Malcolm X. He talks about I mean, he mentions Farrakhan and all these like people
Yeah.
that you know, and you just, I don't know, your brain just opens up more. I don't know. I read the
Yeah, you wanted to
autobiography of
research
Malcolm
about
X.
it and stuff.
Yeah, I ended up reading the autobiography of Malcolm X, which is one of the most influential books I've ever read in my life because of Public Enemy. 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I love Chuck
Man,
D. He's the shit.
911 is a joke. I mean, it's crazy that we're still talking about it, you know? I don't know.
Fight the Power.
That's what's wild. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. But yeah, that's
Fight
all
the
fucking
Power was
good
like
stuff, man.
90 or 91 or something like that. That's crazy. But I mean, look at Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. I mean, it's basically about what we're talking about now. You know, it's about race. It's about race relations. A fucking cop kills a black kid, and the black people flip out and loot the fucking pizza shop. You know?
Yeah,
And
man.
nothing's really changing other than more people are seeing it. It's kind of like when your parents learn about some underground shit and they're like, "Did you know that? Did you know
Yeah, and
about
you're
this
like,
guy Chuck D?" And you're like, "Yeah, Mom."
Yeah, yeah. I do love that. I was thinking about that, how just there is something really powerful about everybody having a camera on them now. You know, it's like, it's you know, it's a different sort of surveillance, you know, because for so long, like, you know, whatever, that gets into some crazy, like, what's the fucking Orwell book? Is it
1984?
1984? Yeah, so, like, there's that, but then also, like, we are turning the eyes back on the ones watching us, and that's one positive. I know there's a lot of negative stuff about the internet and social media and all this, but I think that, you know, it is a tool that can be used. You know, I always use the hammer fucking thing where it's like you could kill somebody with a hammer or you could build a home, and it's nice to see that a lot of young people are building homes with this fucking technology. It's great. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I feel yeah, I don't know, it's crazy. I feel pretty positive about the everything that's happening. I think that yeah, it sucks that a lot of negative is happening, but there is a lot of good going on. So
You know, for the most part, even scientists agree and historians agree that, you know, we're pushing in the right direction and things are getting better than they've ever been for medicine. Things, you know, even in the midst of a pandemic, it's like we're handling this better than we could have ever handled it even 20 years ago or 30 years ago.
Oh, dude, when they said
As
that
a
vaccine was
society.
coming out, they're like, we're going to have a vaccine in, like, they said, like, 17 months, right? And a lot of people were like, what? That's fucking long. And I was like, do you know how much of a miracle that is? Like, 17 months, that's a year and 5 months, right? Like, that's amazing that we could engineer a vaccine in that is actually short time in the grand scheme of things and stuff,
course.
you know? So we're so, yeah, that, and I'll also say, like, you know, Todd Glass always talks about this, how young people, they get shit on a lot, and sure, they're young and whatever, we were all dumb and young, but I think overwhelmingly young people have been right about most things. Like, history shows that, you know, with civil rights, with all that stuff, like, young people, for the most part, were overwhelmingly, like on the right side of history. It's shown, you know? So
It
big up
feels
to the
that way
fucking
right
young
now,
people,
so,
man.
Yeah. Big up to
Yeah.
the youth. To the
Hell
youth.
yeah.
Rocking
That's
a
right,
gold
dude.
tooth.
How long have
So,
we
yeah,
been
let's
going?
wrap-
I feel like I've been yelling for
let's
like
wrap.
an hour.
Let's wrap it up, bro. It's been a good podcast. You know,
For
I don't know
sure.
how you want to end it, you know, but
Dude,
wrap it
I
up.
love you guys, man. Here's what I want to say is, like, I love all the positivity. Everybody's been overwhelmingly great in the comments. We're here to just do that, man. Like you know, it's I think it's just, you know, whatever. I'm glad that we could come here and that I'm in a position where we could come try to bring you guys joy for a little bit. You know, whatever. Email us, mostlysorrypod@gmail.com. Whatever questions, really, honestly, whatever, man. If I fuck up some fact, let me know. I wanted to say, like, sometimes I get overwhelmed with some of the stuff we're talking about because I don't feel like I know enough, but I want all the people out there to know that, you know, if I say something crazy or whatever. It's like I'm not done evolving as a human being. I would like to evolve, and like, you know, I'm willing to fucking, you know, educate me, man. If I say something fucked up, I want to grow. I want to be better, and you know, I want to be a better person next week than I was, you know, last week. Or, you know, they say, you know, just be a better you tomorrow than you were the day before. So I want that. I want you guys to know that. If I say some crazy shit, hey, we're all in this. We're all fucking learning. I love you guys. Thanks for the positivity. Let's all learn together, and let's keep moving in a positive manner, dude. And that's what we're here for. I don't know if you have any sort of last words, you know, if that was my send-off. I guess we're
you
still
said it.
figuring
No,
this
it's
out.
the send-off, dude. Say peace, and let's get the fuck on out of here.
Hell yeah. Hey, we're addressing all the audio things. We're getting better at this. You know, we hit a few bumps. We're getting better. So, you know, that's it, dude. We're all growing.
Rate and review on the Apple Podcast. That's what I'd say. I'd say if you're watching on
That's
YouTube,
right.
make sure to subscribe on audio podcast formats. Rate and review. Leave a thumbs up. Get your friends to subscribe. Share. We're trying to get this thing cracking. And you know, I know it's not the be all end all in the world, but it's what we're doing right now. So, fuck it. Once a week, we're gonna do some shit.
Yeah.
Leave a review. It'll help us. It'll help our little algorithm grow. Then
That's right. Yeah.
peace
Brick
to the
by
fans.
brick.
You guys are
Hell
dope.
yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your week. Keep doing your fucking thing, and we love you guys. Peace.
Gunshots on a gun, underwater bait.